Hi guys, it's Monica here from Fairy Tale Journeys by Monica. I often see the question raised of, should I use a travel advisor for my upcoming trip? Now I realize I am a travel advisor, so you can already see my bias. But before I became one, I actually never used one. So I'm going to take a look at when you should use a travel advisor and when you're probably okay to book on your own. Let's dive in.
Where will we go today?
Before I get started, let's take a moment to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can see more great content of our adventures. Before I became a travel advisor, I planned travel for free for all of my family and friends, as well as events, reunions, etc. I generally just love planning and traveling, so moving into this role has been a natural fit for me. If that's the type of person you are, I still recommend using a travel advisor because if you use a good one, he or she will let you walk alongside them through the whole process. They should never take away control from you. You can have as much or as little control as you wish. Before I begin with my list of when and when not to use a travel advisor, please remember that utilizing a travel advisor is free, and by choosing to use one, you are supporting his or her small business. That being said, let's discuss when you definitely need a travel advisor and why. First of all, the obvious choice, going to Disney World in Orlando. I would say this one is a no-brainer. Disney has so many moving parts, including dining reservation windows, fast pass reservation windows when available, after hours parties, transportation to and from Walt Disney World Resort, as well as around the parks, park hour changes, what kind of tickets to buy, which resort to stay at, and I seriously could go on and on. That being said, some of you watching this like to do it all on your own and you don't want any help, and that's okay. A travel advisor isn't here to take over, but to help guide you through the entire process and pick up pieces you either don't want to do, like dining reservations for example, and remind you of things throughout the planning process. Plus, most travel advisors understand when you want to do it all on your own and will back off when asked. Also, things are changing constantly at Disney, and travel advisors follow all of the latest news and protocols to keep you most informed. But if you're not convinced yet, most of all, if Disney comes out with a sale after you book your room, your travel advisor will spend hours on hold or get up early to make sure you get that new, lower price point. They do this because they work for you, not for Disney, and they're going to make sure you have the best price and experience you can have. I would echo these sentiments for places like Disneyland, Universal Orlando Resort, and Universal Studios Hollywood. Another destination I would recommend a travel advisor is cruising. There's a lot of different cruise lines with a lot of different ships that go to a lot of different destinations. A travel advisor can help narrow down what works best for you and your group. Cruising has a lot of deadlines as well as a lot of moving parts. Travel advisor will help you get things booked before you even get on the ship, such as all of your excursions. A travel advisor can also help you with your dining preferences or reservations if necessary, and keep up with updates to protocols, changes, and anything else you might need. In addition, your travel advisor can even set up transportation to the port, any pre or post cruise accommodations, and any recommendations for the area for wherever you are. What about all-inclusive resorts? Do you really need a travel advisor for them? Absolutely. The best locations for all-inclusives are in the Caribbean, and generally not in the US and not in Hawaii. But there is a lot to choose from, so a travel advisor will help narrow it down based on your preferences and help you find the right place, arrange your transfers, insurance, excursions, or anything else you may need. I would specifically recommend finding a travel advisor that specializes in either the location you're trying to visit or the brand you're wanting. For example, I am certified in Sandals and Beaches resorts and know those well enough that through a conversation with you, I can recommend several of their resorts that would be places you would enjoy. Let's talk about other types of resorts. This would include places like Hawaii, resorts within the United States, etc. While these are what I would consider borderline destinations that you could probably book with an advisor or on your own, I would lean to booking with an advisor, especially if you're going to a location you're very unfamiliar with or if you aren't sure where to go and need the recommendations of an expert. As far as Hawaii, if you're wanting to stay in a resort, I would recommend an advisor. But if you wanted to stay in a vacation rental, perhaps utilizing an advisor isn't the right choice. That leads me to the next point of when you do not need a travel advisor. I feel like it might be good to reinsert that travel advisors actually don't cost you anything. If someone offered to clean your house for free, wouldn't you let them do it? All this being said, when do you not need a travel advisor? Even though this list is a little shorter, it isn't worth your time to go through a travel advisor for the following. Vacation rentals. Can travel advisors book vacation rentals? Possibly, but it's honestly not worth it for the travel advisor or for you. Very often we have no way to rent on your behalf, and frankly it would be more expensive for you. In the end, you know what house or condo you want and where, and you should probably just book it on your own. Another place you might not need a travel advisor is booking airfare. Can travel advisors book airfare? Depending on the package and where you're looking to go, yes they can. In fact, sometimes packaging everything together really is the best deal, and a travel advisor can find that deal for you. This can often be true with certain cruise lines. However, is it a requirement for a travel advisor to book your airfare? No. If something goes wrong while you're at a resort or on a cruise, a travel advisor can step in and help with it. But if something goes wrong on your flight, there's not much they can do about it. You'll still have to deal directly with the airline. Another place you can plan without a travel advisor are places like SeaWorld, Six Flags, or other amusement parks that don't require a full travel package. One place I haven't mentioned yet is Europe. Europe is complicated. You would want to choose an advisor who has traveled to multiple countries, been on land and sea trips, and could give you a plethora of recommendations. If you want to go to Europe via ocean or river cruise, I definitely recommend an advisor for reasons I stated before. But if you want to do land only, the most an advisor can offer, unless you want to go with a tour group, is advice and hotel bookings. In my personal case, I've been to 15 countries in Europe, lived abroad, and helped plan itineraries for corporate organizations, so I would love to help plan your European trip. But you can't just take people's word on it. You need to properly interview and vet your agent if you're going to Europe. Make sure he or she knows Europe, has traveled to Europe, and knows what they're doing. This is a time where an advisor might charge a fee because the legwork is pretty complicated. So don't be shocked if that happens, but it would be worth it for an experienced advisor. I hope this helps you better understand when and where you need a travel advisor. Don't be scared to ask questions, and don't be afraid to ask an advisor to take a step back so you can be more involved in the planning. If you have a good advisor, he or she will understand that and adapt their style to what works best for you. That being said, I would love for you to choose me as your next travel advisor for your next trip. I would love to get to know you and your group and help plan the perfect trip for you. Just visit ftjtravelbymonica.com for a quote and to contact me. Or if you're interested in a cruise, contact my husband Zach at ftjtravelbyzach.com. Let me know in the comments below how your experience has been using a travel advisor. What are some of the pros and cons? I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you so much for watching. Please click that thumbs up button to like this video. Also, please make sure you subscribe to get more awesome content like this one, and we will see you real soon.